Hey y'all, welcome back. So basically, we're gonna get into this Cajun food. So as you can see, this is everything that I used, and except for the bag of veggies. I was tired. I ain't feel like doing it, so I opted out. But now I needed to basically wash my salmon. I washed it with some distilled vinegar and lime. I actually used two instead of the one that I showed. And I scraped off the scales, and then basically patted everything dry. And as you can see, I wanted to make sure that there was no moisture, or at least minimal amount of moisture. So right now we're basically going to salt the water, and bring that to a boil. So while that's doing its thing, I'm going to start with what we're going to put into the stuffed shells. So we're going to use the cream cheese, and we're going to add the crab meat. Now with the crab meat, I basically I opened them previously, drained out the water, put in fresh water, drained out that water, and then put it inside this mixture. You don't want salty ass stuffed shells, like you just don't. And then right here, I'm going to basically go in with the seasonings. Now, I'm going to let y'all know this now. I don't have specific measurements for the ingredients. A lot of this stuff was just eyeballing, figuring out like how much I know that my family likes to taste, myself, and so on and so forth. I'm going to leave like a basically like a guesstimate, so that way you guys can do it for you. But remember, when it comes to recipes or when it comes to foods that you like, all of this stuff is for you. You have to make everything to taste for you. When you're cooking, you don't have to be so stiff or rigid and feel like you have to follow every single thing to a T. Obviously, if you're like making bread, that's different. But but like when it comes to dishes like this, you kind of sort of have a lot of creative control. So now, as the water has came to a boil, I added the jumbo shells. I actually ended up making more than necessary, but with this next dish, this sauce that I made right here, yeah, I made that like at an afterthought. That bad boy hit with just those jumbo shells. So, anyways, I used butter and I used some cooking wine, and basically I melted them together and I let that reduce down. And after that reduced down, I added the half and half, or is it whipping cream? I used whipping cream. Boom. That's what I used. I used the heavy whipping cream, and I kind of sort of let that reduce just a little bit before I went in with the Parmesan cheese, and then I added my seasoning. So you have the goya, you have the Cajun seasoning, garlic. Basically, I wanted to make sure that this sauce was like hitting. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. This bad boy tasted good. Of course, I had to add the little parsleys, make it look cute. And I had the heat on medium to high heat, and then reduced it afterwards, so that way it continued to simmer while I basically rinsed out jumbo the jumbo shells. So I added the sauce to the stuffed shells mixture, and before I did this part, I rinsed out the jumbo shells. I basically drained them and then put them in some cold water to stop them from cooking, because I still wanted them a little bit firm, so that way they would continue to hold their shape while I stuffed them. And so this is that part. Also, don't forget to wash your hands in between everything. So right here, after I ladle in the Alfredo mixture at the bottom, I wash my hands again, because I'm gonna be touching food for my family, and I know I could have used gloves, but my family's eating this, not strangers. So I started to basically plate the ceramic ramekin. It's not a ramekin, but it's like a big version of a ramekin. Y'all get the point. So I put that in. And also, if I'm whispering, it's because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and my family is asleep, and I ain't trying to get cursed out. So with this part, basically this is all you're doing is stuffing the shells and then putting them around, and then I'm just gonna cut right into when it's done. So I placed the sauce all over it. My family loves things cheesy. Yes, we lactose intolerant. No, we do not care. I basically put that, while this was happening, I already had preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And so by the time that I was finished ladling everything, I put that into the oven and I added some cheese to the top. This one I think is the mozzarella. So while that's inside the oven, let's get to the salmon. So with the salmon, I basically wash my hands again. I put some olive oil down. I use light olive oil. Normally I use avocado oil, but I had ran out. So I used the olive oil and basically put my seasonings on. And make sure when you seasoning your food, you're putting it on all sides. I mean the top, the bottom, the left, the right, because when you're cooking it, at least when I cooked it, I basically seared all sides again, and I wanted all sides to be flavorful. So, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you saw that my daughter not only cleaned her plate, but she asked me for yet another plate. And then, yeah, so now everybody in my family is asking for me to make this again. If you followed me on Snapchat, especially through the years, you know that I'm always cooking. I like cooking. I like when I have the time or the space, or if it's not too hot. So now I'm basically going to do that to the other three and basically just repeat. So now, always put your, like, if you're going to cook something and you want to do like pictures or presentation and stuff like that, some people like to do skin down side first, or if you want, you can do it like that. I did, because I like the skin to be extra crispy. Some people don't like the skin. If you guys would like a video on how to remove the skin, I can definitely do that for you guys. But leave that in the comments for me to know that's what you guys want to see. And then yeah, in a very hot non-stick skillet, I basically put the salmon. You can put your salmon anywhere from 5 minutes each side, or probably like 5 minutes on high, and then reduce the heat to like probably like a low, and then that way you do the other side, so that way you don't overcook your salmon, because you still want it to be tasty. So now it's time to take this bad boy out. As you can see, this is what it was looking like when it came out. I wish I had the video, but it deleted. And yeah, everything is right here. I put the salad. I have my Cajun salmon. If you want, you can take the sauce and you can actually place that over the salmon. I didn't do that with this because, like I said, I used that for the excess jumbo shells. If you guys would like to see more videos of the things that I cook for my family, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.